What's up, everybody? This is Montalto with JarSportsTakes, back with my second video on Pick Swap Media. Great to be back. It's been a week since I made my last video, but we're going to get back to it, talking about a little NFL ball this time, once again. But this time, you can see the title of this video. We're going to be talking about a little bit of Philadelphia Eagles football in this video. They're coming off a Monday night victory against the Green Bay Packers, only 10-7 in a below average game if you're an offensive football fan. Very slow from start to finish. A lot of mistakes here and there for both teams, and just an overall ugly performance. And you would not be confident if you're either one of their fans about moving forward. So before I get into all the Eagles' concerns, like there's plenty to talk about there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I do want to say for Green Bay, very lackluster start to this season. We're already halfway through this season. So if you're a Packers fan, like there's also cause for concern in Green Bay for sure. I thought Matt LaFleur's play calling is so vanilla and it is not helping the offense one bit. And it looks bad because there is playmakers on that offense. Like I know Tucker Kraft is out. I know they were missing Matthew Golden too, but there's still a level of talent on that offense where they should be moving the ball, and there is not a reason in the world they should be only putting up 7 points in a game, in a primetime game, in a game that really matters. That's really going to come down to playoff time seeding. But yeah, there's been a lot of talks about Matt LaFleur all week on, every single podcast, every single TV show, sports TV show. His play calling looked vanilla. Like it's very, very like regular high school play calling. Like it looked bad. And does he not have enough trust in Jordan Love? Are the playmakers not there? So he's, dumbing it down not to, move the ball as they would if they had all their talent. I don't know. It just didn't look good. It didn't flow well, obviously putting up 7 points. And then Jordan Love, I think a lot of people put him in the top 10 before this season. I've held back on that top 15, yeah. But I think he's overrated. And in this game, like he did not get helped by his receivers. There was plenty of drops that, if they're catching the ball, this is a completely different game. So receivers did not help him in this game on Monday. But other than that, like, I just still think he's overrated. I think he took sacks. I think that one fumble right before halftime when he coulda got points on the board looked awful. Like, just, if you're gonna take the sack, take the sack. Don't try to make a play like that, there's guys all around you. This is just a dumb decision. So I do think he is overrated. And this Packers team, like Micah Parsons went, he went ghost. And if you're a Cowboys fan, in big games, like he does tend to do that. And a lot of people said it, before the season. They got criticized. Dallas fans got criticized, but the Dallas fans are watching every game. They're watching every snap. They're going and deep diving into, every single game. Like you can see he disappears. And I think finally the national media and Packers fans alike are finally seeing like in big games, he does tend to, go a little bit ghost. Like the sacks aren't there. I think he had one or two pressures in that game, but like for a guy you're paying 40 something million to, you want him to make plays, you want him to get some sacks. And, as they've said, he's not great against the run. I know they're beat up all over the board, but it's not an excuse because that is a tough division in the NFC North. Like the Bears look pretty decent right now. Detroit is Detroit. Minnesota, they're nothing to worry about. But if I was a Packers fan, I'd be very concerned. Now, let's get into a little Philadelphia Eagle talk, and I will start with some positives before I start, kind of bashing. And I will get hate on this video when I clip it and put it on TikTok for sure about I'm hating. But I want to say the Jalen Phillips signing, I was weary of it to give him up a third round pick, but in that first game, he looked great. Like instantly, first drive, he was making tackles. He seemed very good against the run. He was getting pressure on Jordan Love. So, hats off to, Howie if he's able to perform like this week in and week out. That's a huge signing. Like I said, third round pick is a lot to give up, but if he plays like this all season and, maybe they re-sign him, down the line because he's still on that rookie deal, like that's a good pickup. I will give my hats off to that. I genuinely like that pickup. And then my second thing is you guys keep winning one score games. The Eagles are 6-1 in one score games this season. They're finding ways to win. Similar to 2023, and I have said that this entire season, I get 2023 vibes from this. They're a good football team. They're winning games by the skin of their teeth. But when it comes down to it, playoff time, do you trust this team? Do you really think they're going to make a deep playoff run with all the, concerns on offense, still the concerns in the secondary on defense? Like, does that worry you as an Eagles fan? I don't know. Uh, if this was my favorite team, I would 1,000% be concerned because week in and week out is the same issues and there's nothing been changed. So let me start this because it all ties in together in this, what I'm trying to describe as why they were struggling. The Kevin Batul on offense, you guys, Eagles fans and, national media are putting the full blame on Kevin Patullo. The play calling sucks. Something has to change, which I don't disagree with. Not like it doesn't seem like he has full trust in his guys, which is another topic completely in itself. But it's not all on Kevin Patullo because I haven't heard anyone say this, and this is, it's been bouncing off my mind for the past few weeks, and I'm, finally deciding to make a video about it. But Nick Sirianni came to Philadelphia, an offensive mind. He was supposed to bring some juice on the offensive side of the ball and really open up this Eagles offense. If they talk about him being an offensive, mastermind, which they don't so much say anymore for valid reason, but like he came in here to make this offense better. Why is Sirianni getting no blame at all for the offensive struggles? Like, as a head coach, you would think if a position is struggling, you're going to go to more meetings. You're going to sit in on either the linebacker room, the offensive line, whatever position group is struggling, you're going to sit in on the meetings, and just to give an extra helping hand, see what they're doing, see the problems that you can possibly fix. And the offense as a whole is just it's bad, and I will get into the why in a second, but I think Sirianni deserves more blame than he's been getting because I don't think he's been getting any. It's just Kemba Tula or it's Jalen Hurts. Like, it's only them 2 getting any type of flack for it, and I just don't think that's right because you have a head coach that is supposed to be an offensive guy, supposed to, put a lot of trust into him, and he has not changed anything. Like, you just saw Dan Campbell in Detroit, like, he's taking over play calling. Like, that's what a head coach should do if he's concerned with the play calling, and 10 points is not gonna win you a game when you have that type of talent on offense with Saquon, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and that offensive line. Like, I don't think it's right that just Kevin Patullo is getting this, flack for it. Nick Sirianni deserves a lot more blame than he's been getting, and, I will stand on that. I don't think he's getting any blame at all, and he deserves it. And before I get off the Sirianni subject, before I get more into the offensive stuff, his decision making, it sucks. It's bad. Like that end of the game where they went for it on 4th and 6, when I think it was an obvious punt situation. Watching the game, I'm like, you don't go for the field goal because if it gets blocked, return for a touchdown, God forbid, or if Jake Elliott misses the field goal, they get the ball right there. So I understand not going for a field goal. Like I fully agreed not doing that. But they have no timeouts. Why not try to pin them deep? If it's a touchback, so be it. You're still pushing them backyards. I don't, in my right mind, understand why you would go for it on 4th and 6 and giving them, they only need 25 yards to get in field goal range. Obviously, he missed it, so he didn't catch much flack for it. But during that game, I'm like, bro, why is he not punting? Like that's an obvious punt situation. Like that is, high school little league stuff. Like you punt right there. There's no other decision other than the punt. So for him to go for it, and I heard things about maybe Jalen and AJ Brown went rogue, but even if they did, like, why is Jalen Hurts throwing a deep bomb when you only need 6 yards? And it boggles my mind. And I watch enough football on a week to week basis from high school, college, and the NFL level. I sports report on high school football. I report on college football, some D2 and D3. So like I see the bad decision making week in and week out, and that is a decision that a high school, first year head coach. I know coaches that have been coaching 20 plus years, very, a lot of accolades and stuff like that. They are punting the ball, no doubt in their mind. They are not going for that play. I don't care who you have on the offensive side of the ball. That is a problem that he went for that on 4th down. So getting back into why the offense has been, lackluster for Eagles fans and, just watching it is not fun this year. So this offense is obviously based on Saquon, and it goes as Saquon goes. Like it did last year. Kellen Moore did a great job of getting him the ball, getting, things spread out. And he's a good OC. I didn't think he was going to succeed like he did in Philadelphia. I had my doubts when it came, to crunch time. His play calling would get bad because that's how it did in Dallas. But, He didn't. He had the ball rolling. Congrats to him. But with Saquon not being as dominant as he has and the offensive line not being as good as it was last year, you lose Becton. Cam Jurgens has been out for some time. Lane Johnson's on and off the field. Leonard Dickerson has, been battling injury. I get it. The offensive line is excuse me, continuity is not there this season, just with guys, rotating in and out of the lineup. But Saquon has lost a step, and for everyone, "Oh, why has he lost a step?" He rushed for 2,000 yards last year. You think a guy that's, in his late 20s is still gonna be able to, rush for 2K again? I don't know why anyone thought that would happen again. Like, he's banged up, it takes a toll on your body, uh, getting all them touches, like, I think that's a just common sense thing, so, like, you knew he was gonna take a step back this season. But, yeah, so the offense moves as Saquon goes, so when the offense when the run's not going, like, it's not gonna be as good. You're gonna rely on Jalen Hurts and his arm, which I've said in the past, I not a Jalen Hurts guy, and it's not a hate towards him. I just don't think he is as good as people say he is. I don't care about, he's winning games, like, they said it he just won a 10-7 game, like, he didn't do anything. He had a check down to Saquon who made a play, and then he underthrew a pick that his touchdown to Devontae Smith that should have been intercepted. Like, he didn't play great. For anyone saying he did is just, you know, biased. I get it. Uh, yeah, and that comes to me saying I don't think a lot of Kevin Platool has a lot of trust in Jalen Hurts. Uh, because if he did, I think the offense would be more opened up. AJ Brown had 2 targets on the first drive, then didn't see the ball again until, that bomb, with 5 seconds left. Like, that can't happen. I just don't think Patula has the trust, and maybe even Sirianni doesn't have the trust in Jalen letting that ball rip. And I saw, a screenshot. Maybe I didn't watch the whole play, but screenshot of AJ Brown going right over the middle and AJ or Jalen Hurts not connecting with him. And obviously, the AJ Brown comments on that kid's stream this week, he's just not happy. Which I think a lot plays into it. I don't think it's just Jalen Hurts or it's just Batul. I think everyone plays a part in his disappointment. And when you have a top 5 receiver, you get him the ball by any means. Uh, if you're Jalen Hurts, you're forcing the ball to him. Like, maybe an interception comes here and there trying to get him the ball, but that's what you're gonna have to do to keep your, top 5 receiver happy. And that's just what comes with having a guy that's talented. And, I've been saying it forever. I played receiver in high school and college. Like, wide receivers want the ball. If they are not getting the ball and don't feel like they're contributing enough, they don't care about the winning. They want to be able to help to win. And if he's only getting 2 catches, 3 catches a game, like, he doesn't feel like he's helping his team win, which makes him feel like, who cares? Like, I'm not doing my part. I want to be doing my part. I want to have my numbers. So I fully understand from a wide receiver's perspective why he feels how he does feel. But getting back to 2023, there is 2 common denominators with 2023 and right now and Eagles fans bashing the offense coordinator. Obviously, it was Brian Johnson then. They ran him out the building, even though just similar to this year, they're winning games. It's not convincing, but they're somehow winning ball games, and I think you will see a collapse towards the end of the season or come playoff time. They're not gonna make a deep run because the offense is not humming. But just like in 2023, it's bashed the offensive coordinator. But the 2 common denominators is quarterback Jalen Hurts and head coach Nick Sirianni. So take that as you please, but I think the offensive coordinator is a scapegoat. I think you guys and Eagles fans and just, the media alike should be asking Jalen Hurts and Sirianni why. I know they have been asking why the offense isn't doing what it's doing, but I think they need to catch a lot more flack for why it is not moving how it should be with the talent that they have. Uh, yeah, it's just reiterating my point. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good of a quarterback to be able to lead the team. I think he needs other guys like Saquon to, run the ball effectively game in and game out for him to be able to open up the pass game and get what he needs to get. I don't think you're gonna win it strictly behind Jalen Hurts' arms like you would see like Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen, Baker, Dak, like guys that are going to use their arms and you trust their arms rather than running the ball first. Like, that's just been my opinion forever, and it's not going to change unless I see something where he's throwing for 250, 300, where he's winning the game with his arm. And I'm going to get a ton of hate for this just just section right here, but so be it. And yeah, just reiterating my point, Sirianni deserves a lot of this blame. Uh he needs to step in. He needs to say, I'm going to take over play calling because the offense isn't what it should be. And I keep saying it, but it just simple fact. Like Sirianni, I think needs to step up, say I'm gonna call offensive plays similar to Dan Campbell. And then if the offense isn't doing, its job, then you're gonna look at the roster itself and say, why are these guys not performing? You know? That's just what it is. And we're so far into the season, I don't think anything is going to change. So I think this is just what it is, and this is how we're going to see the Philadelphia Eagles the rest of the season. So be it. Big test versus Detroit this week. I think Detroit is the best team in the NFC. I think they're up there with the Rams. I think they're up there with Seattle, and then Philly. I think they're the top four. And I want to see something this game from Philadelphia. I need to see them move the ball effectively. I need to see Jalen Hurts' arms going. I need to see, some creativity in the play call similar to Kellen Moore last year. Uh, hopefully the offensive line can stay healthy for y'all to see what Saquon can do, see if he even has 75% of the juice he had last year, which I just haven't seen. And I don't think he's just going to magically catch, a stick of, what he had last year. That 2K yards is not coming back for him. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this NFC race comes down to it. They have the Lions this week. They go to Dallas. Chicago comes to town on Friday night, Black Friday football. They got the Chargers, Raiders, Washington, Bills, and then Commanders again. So definitely, I wouldn't say the easiest schedule, but it's not too bad. Like there's obviously going to be winnable games. I mean, every single one is winnable in this NFL this year. You never know what's going to happen. I just think it's so wide open, which is, as a Dallas fan, it's disappointing that they don't have a defense because I really think they could compete in the NFC and, win more than one playoff game this year if they did have a defense. But that's neither here or there. I just think the NFC race is really going to be tight. Come down to it, come December, come January, to see who really gets that first seed. And how the seeding is looking, like Eagles are going to win the division. That's a given. I don't have any doubt about that for the first time in 25 years or whatever it is. But, yeah, I just come playoff time, I don't think they're gonna be able to get it done offensively, like, and obviously the problems with the secondary, that's, in itself. Jalen Phillips helps a lot with the pass rush and, on the front seven, so not too worried about that as much as I was before prior. But, if teams are able to pass it on them and then they take the ball away, uh, yeah, I mean, reiterating their fact, Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni deserves a lot of the blame. Kevin Patul is a scapegoat for this, and it's just not right, in my opinion. Not right in one bit. But yeah, this conversation has been on my mind for a few weeks now. Not the type of offense that we would be used to seeing from Philadelphia. Like I said, 2023 vibes, and I'm going to stand on that until they prove me wrong. Yep, second video, and I just want to end these videos because of the Marshawn Kneeland stuff that happened a few weeks ago. I was going to end every video just saying, like, ask for help. Mental health matters. If you need anything, you got to reach out to somebody. You got to talk. You got to let it be known because there's you're worth more than just doing that. Like, ask for help. I fully believe in surround yourself by people that help you with mental health. Definitely, and just want to end every video like that, and I will continue to be doing that. Second video on Pick Swap Media. Shout out Sean. Shout out everybody on this network. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got this far. And, until next time.